So let me ask you something first. Have you ever walked into a meeting knowing that you had the best solution for a certain project and you still lost the project, right? So the question is, it was not because of the price, it was not because of the technology for sure, but because the client didn't feel safe choosing you. People don't buy systems, they buy certainly. And this is the most important thing I want you to learn today. Napoleon Hill, I don't know if you ever heard about him or you ever watched some of the videos, said one time, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. But in business, what the client must believe is that choosing you is safe. And that's the most important part in any KNX meeting, in any KNX project, in any KNX deal. Thank you very much for attending this webinar. My name is José Morcillo. I'm working with KNX, with DALI, residential business, hotels, commercial buildings, and I also running trainings, and that's something that I really love. Okay, so thank you for being here today. I'm very excited about this webinar because this is something different compared to what we have ever seen before regarding of KNX. I usually try to show you how to interact with KNX, with DALI, how to work with ETS, how to make projects, how to lighting control, how to do HVAC, but this is something different. And this is, to be honest, this is something I really think everyone needs to know and everyone needs to master. It really helped me to be on top of this. It really helped me. All I'm going to talk about today is about how to go further into KNX, how to sell KNX, what you need to go to that meeting and to convince someone or somebody or some people, some team or some company that you are the one that needs to make the project, because you know already, or maybe you don't. Maybe that's a problem that you don't know. So today I'm going to address those things, and I really want you to ask any questions. I really want to interact with you. Okay. So I see many well-known people here. Thank you very much, Sergio, for being here today. Often the price, yes, that's true. But let me tell you that it also depends on the project. It depends on the business you are. It depends on many things. Okay, so it's not everything about price. It's not everything about the price. It's about many other things. Okay, so today I'm not here because of devices. I'm not here because of ETS, and I'm here because I have seen this again and again and again happening in front of my eyes. Okay, I've been working with many professionals. As you know, I'm KNX tutor at KNX Academy, so I've been training more than 1,000 students worldwide since I started with this 20 years ago. And I'm gonna address today one of the main problems I'm seeing on people. Okay, what happened is that usually the best technical solution often loses the project to the best positioned professional. Okay, and this is something you need to bear in mind. When dealing with people, remember, you are not dealing with creatures of logic. You are not dealing with people that can think, okay, if A then B, B then C. You are dealing with creatures of emotion. Okay, so everything is about emotion. It's about what you can transmit. Everything is about the energy in the meeting, in the setup, in the showcasing, or whatever. Okay, but everything is about this. Clients don't choose who is right. They choose who feels safe. They want to make sure they make the right decision when they choose you. Okay, and this is something you need to bear in mind. They don't choose you because you are the best technician, because you have the best solution, or because your system is gold finishing instead of silver finishing. Okay, it's because they want to make sure they are making the right decision. So all your job, all your KNX projects, everything around KNX sales speech, quotes, everything around KNX and DALI solutions you are doing, everything should be around how can I make this customer to know that I am the safest solution for him. Okay, so everything is about this. So how do you feel? Are we doing good? Okay, yes, I can see more people coming into the webinar, so thank you very much for those attending. Thank you so much, and feel free to ask any questions in the chat. Either me or my team can help you to get these questions answered. Okay, so thank you so much. So I'm gonna talk now about the core truth about the KNX business. Okay, I'll say in all my career I have seen 3 fears behind every KNX decision. So 3 things, three questions I need to address. The customer needs to address when facing a KNX or DALI solution project or quote or whatever, or offer. So the first question is, will this work? The second question is, will I be alone if something breaks? And the third one is, will I regret about this in 2 years? Am I making a good decision? So it's important for you to know that KNX and DALI solve technology, but you, the system integrator, this message is for you. This webinar is for the system integrator. You must solve the psychology, okay? People don't buy what you do. People don't buy your solutions. People don't buy your controllers, your projects, your devices. They buy why you do it, okay? Bear this in mind, put this in your mind, because this, once you master this, everything is gonna change for you. Everything is gonna change in your professional career. People don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it, the reason for you to do it, the reason behind this. So your job, as I said in many posts in LinkedIn, your job is not to sell KNX. Forget about selling KNX. Your job is to sell peace of mind. You need to sell safe. You need to sell security. You need to sell that your customer is making the right decision with you, with your solution, not just with your devices, but with you as a person, with you as a professional. That's the most important thing. They hire you not because of your products, because they look beautiful or whatever. They trust you, so they hire you. So that's the most important thing. If you cannot trust yourself, you cannot transmit that to the customer, okay? All right, so at this point in time, I understand that you may be thinking, okay, but I am just a few years in the business, and I don't know KNX that much. I have just started working with KNX. I don't master KNX. I have done any project in my life. That's fine, but that's not the problem. The problem is that you need to show the customer that going with you is the right decision for him, okay? I always say, even to my team, to my people, or to the students, get the project. Try to get the project, and then we'll see how you solve it, how you fix it, how you find the solution. Yes, Jose, yes, you are right, but what if he says that he wants to dim a light that I don't know how to do it? Hey, you are making decisions based on assumptions. That's not fair. That is not fair, because if you do that, you must do it in the other way around. You must make decisions based on the assumption that you know everything and you will be able to solve everything. That's not fair, okay? So there are two kinds of people in business. The followers, that they need proof that something is working. They need proof that something is gonna work, something is gonna be okay, that I know the solution, and so on. You chase the projects, and another people are the leaders. So you need to lead the project. You need to go there. You will find a solution for sure. You will find it. If you don't do it, someone else will do it, 100%. You cannot imagine how many. I'm gonna tell you this, even with my team. I've been in meetings with my team, meeting with people that they have less idea about what they want than you think. So you go to a meeting and you think they are the masters of this, they know everything, they know what they want, they know all the solutions, they know all the providers, they know everything. And that's not true. Maybe they know much less than you. So you need to feel secure. You need to transmit that to the customer, that he is sitting with the right person for his project. Okay, and I understand that's the most difficult part. Okay, it's not about technology, it's not the technical part. This is the most difficult part in selling KNX, in the KNX business. So let me share something personal with you today. So if you follow me for a while, I guess you saw my post on LinkedIn talking about, or even running, or doing some sports, or doing some fitness activity, and so on, right? So yeah, many people say, hey, you're running a lot, blah, 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 you are doing exercise. That's true. Yeah, that's true. So 2-3 years ago, I decided to change my life totally, 100%. So I lost like 40 pounds, like 21, 22 kilograms. I lost a lot of weight, and I started to change my life. Okay. And a lot of people think that I run marathons because I want to be fit, or because I want to look good, or be in good shape, or to be competitive, or I want to be, I don't know, to run this marathon in this time. That's not the reason. This is not why I train. I don't train to chase these things. I train for my mind. And the moment you start understanding this, everything is going to change in your life. Believe me, I felt that in my body. I felt that myself. So the moment you understand that mens sana in corpore sano, this Latin sentence, you will understand everything perfectly. I was not even able to stand up and go walking or running. I didn't know how to run. I had no idea. I mean, my body was not made to run. Neither yours. But you need to make the first step. And it's not just about running. It's about to exercise, because the dopamine you generate, and everything happens in your body when you do exercise, changes your mind 100%. I mean, it's unbelievable. For me, it was unbelievable. What's going on, right? I could feel it. So a healthy mind in a healthy body, that's the question. That's it. And that's very, very important in business. Let me tell you this. It's very important to do exercise. It's very important to take care of yourself for business. I'm talking about KNX business, yes. So it's very important. So when I run, when I suffer, when I push myself to limits, and when my body really wants to stop, I'm training something much more important than muscles. I'm training the ability to be there, to be on the top, and to get everything done. Okay? I'm training clarity under pressure. And in KNX, in business and in life, pressure is everywhere. Projects fail. We all know that, because of, for any reason, clients panic. How many clients they panic because they say, okay, this is not working, or maybe it's not your fault, maybe it's some electrical problem, right? Whatever, clients panic, they call you at 2 a.m. in the morning and they say, hey, what's going on here, this is not working, blah blah. Okay, fine. Deadlines move up and down. Hey, we need to finish this, and you need to be there. People quit. Budget change. We don't have more money to do this. The integrator who wins, the KNX system integrator who wins, is not one who knows more manuals. It's the one who stays calm when everyone else collapses. So let me tell you this. Persistence is the character of man as carbon is to steel. Exactly like this. And discipline builds unshakable confidence. You need to engrave this in your mind. Okay? So when you start changing your body, when you start changing yourself, you will automatically start changing your mind. And that will affect directly into your business, into your KNX projects, in the way you deal with people, in the way you talk to people right away. Believe me, because I felt that in my body, by myself. So here's the part that people don't see. I don't train for myself. As I was saying before. I train so that I can think clearly when $1 million project is on the line. I can think out of the box. I can think how to make the most of this, or how to make the most of that, or I can analyze what the customer wants when those challenging projects come to me. That's the point. So I can find solutions when others don't see anything, when others don't see how to solve, when others don't see a door to go out or a solution for something specific. Okay, so I can make decisions when everyone is afraid, everyone else is afraid. No, this is difficult. No, I don't want to do this, or I don't know how to do it. I can see solutions. Believe me, changes everything. Okay, that's the way I see I can grow my companies. That's the only way. It's not about the body, it's about the mind. Okay, so I really enjoy when this happens, and people around me can also grow together. I love to be surrounded by people better than me, people that are aligned with my energy, that have the same way I think, and I really can feel it. Okay, so that's how the real leadership looks like, and that's what you need to train right now. And really, believe me, clients, the customers, they see it right away. They may not know why. I mean, why I want to make business with him, or why I want him for my solution or for my project, but they feel when someone is grounded, stable, certain, and the most important part, not desperate. Okay, so that's the deepest level of security you can offer, and you can get it. Okay, and it will help you 500%, not even 100%, 500%. That's why premium clients, they don't hire technicians, they hire leaders. They don't hire the best technical staff. They hire someone that is leading a solution, leading a project, and it's ready to find a solution when things are not going like they have to be. Okay, so let me show you how that works in real projects. So I have prepared like 3 different cases, okay, for you to see how we can apply this, or which solution we can go for, or how to manage these meetings or these situations. So case number 1, it's a residential project. Okay, so let's imagine ourselves that we are on a residential project. We have the possibility to offer or to work in a residential project. Okay, the customer already knows Control 4, they know Crestron, they know Lutron or DMX or AMX or whatever system you want. Okay, so they are familiar with this. They already have quotes, they already know the prices, and they want a smart home. So that's the situation. All right, I don't talk about brands, never. I never talk about, okay, we are gonna go this brand or another brand. Never. There's no need for that. The moment you do that, you are avoiding the risk question. I prefer to talk about risk. I prefer to talk how we are going to handle this in the future. I prefer to talk about what could happen if something goes wrong, because that's what the customer wants. They don't care about if the actuator is Siemens or MDT or ABB or Schneider Electric or whatever. They just want to answer the 3 questions I told you before, the 3 concerns the customer has before. So I always talk about risk. Control 4, for instance, or Crestron or Lutron or any other proprietary brand, they are just brands, okay? And the KNX, that's good for you. You are a system integrator. KNX is an international brand. So brands come and go, and we have seen it worldwide. How many brands are not in the market anymore? Many of you even send me posts from LinkedIn saying that, hey, this brand or whatever brand, lighting control system, is not in the market anymore. And it was a huge company. It was a great company doing great projects, hotel projects, and that's not in the market anymore. Proprietary system. Okay, proprietary system. This is happening. And what happens with the customer? But you know that. With KNX, you are not locked in. Any certified integrator can support you. That's something, let me tell you this, that's something you need to transmit to the customer. Yeah, but I'm opening the door to others to go to their project, to this project as well, or I opening the door so my customer can contact any other one. No, my friend. If you do a great job, they will not go to another one. If you are already thinking that they might go to another one, that's because you know you are gonna fail. So if you know for sure that you are gonna provide the best solution, you are more than happy and more than proud to say, you can go, you do not depend on me. This is KNX. You do not depend on me in the future. You can go to any KNX system integrator in your area. Go to the KNX website and find that system integrator there if I'm not here anymore or whatever. That's good for the customer, okay? And important thing, your home keeps its value. It's not an outdated system in 25 years. We've seen many of you have posts on LinkedIn. Sergio, you have some posts on LinkedIn from installations from long ago, from 20 years, 15 years ago, and it's still running, on-off switching, still running, still working. Okay, now you want to change something, no problem. You just need to change the actuator and that's all, okay? You don't need to change the full system, the entire system. DALI, for instance, gives you lighting quality that proprietary systems cannot. I'm not selling you a control system. That's what I say to the customers. I'm not selling you devices. I'm not selling you technology. I'm designing a home that will not become obsolete in the future. That's what you are selling. If something becomes obsolete, it's going to be the fixtures. In the lights, maybe the new technology is not LED, it's another technology. So no problem. We can change the controllers. We can change the actuators, that's all. But in the same way, you need to change the fixture as well, the bulb, the LED for the future technology, you know? So that's the point. So that's what I always try to transmit to the customers. You are buying a peace of mind, okay? You are not buying products, or you are not buying a solution from a specific brand. You are buying a design for a house, for your home, okay? So at this point, do you have any question about this? Do you have any question, something you'd like to talk about this case, about residential, how to manage KNX and DALI in residential projects, something you have faced with in the past, or some concern from customers? I'm happy to hear you and I'm happy to discuss with you, okay? If you have anything to say, please, you can write it in the chat, okay? So residential projects. It is important to say that in residential projects, you are competing with an alternative in case the customer doesn't want to do anything, which is to do anything, to do nothing, let's say, okay? So to switch on off a light, to move a shade up and down, they don't need KNX. I'm sorry. Yes, they don't need KNX. They don't need to go for a system or a specific system, actuators, and so on. I always say the same to my students, to my people. Don't sell KNX to switch on and off fixtures. Don't sell KNX to move blinds up and down. You don't need KNX to that. No, but you know, I can do it with the scheduling because I have a touch panel. You don't need KNX. If you go to Home Depot or if you go to whatever shop, you can find the scheduling thing that you can schedule, okay, from 9 to 5, up and down. Sorry, you don't need KNX. You don't need that. So if you go for KNX for these kind of solutions, the outcome will be KNX is expensive. KNX is horrible. Just to switch on a light. I mean, to switch on a light, I need to go to the touch screen, go to living room, and then press this button. That's not a building automation. That's not building automation. No. That's some of the manufacturer's approach. So the difference between a project, KNX project, sold by a manufacturer, or a project sold or offered by a system integrator, the difference is huge. And here's the difference. The manufacturer makes money by selling devices. That's true. I mean, they sell devices. That's true. This is a truth, okay? And system integrator makes money on the devices, yes, but the big money it's in the integration itself, right? So don't sell devices. You, a system integrator, don't sell devices. We can dim 128 fixtures and 128 circuit lights with just one DALI gateway. One KNX DALI gateway. What's the price of a DALI gateway? You know the price. So we don't need to go for 0 to 10 volts controllers, like 50 of them, right? That's actually what's happening in the USA. It's very hard to take out this way to think. Why? Because many manufacturers, they make money by selling devices, so they prefer to sell 50 0 to 10 volts actuators or controllers than one DALI gateway, right? Absolutely, because they sell gateways or they sell controllers. They don't sell fixtures, most of them. Okay. All right. So okay, so I have some questions here. I see Christian. What do you say when a client says KNX is too expensive? Okay, we can address that at the end of the webinar. Okay. Okay, let's go to a case 2. Let's go to a case 2 study case. So let's say we are in a commercial building. We have a commercial customer. It might be a hotel, maybe department store, airport, whatever. Automation here. Automation, it's a must. We are not trying to convince the customer that we need to go for automation or we need to go for sorry, we need to go for lighting control. We don't need to convince him about this. It's gonna be there already. Okay, so everyone compete on price because you have some other solutions, and everyone compete on risk as well. So every system works on day one. I'm sure about that. No problem. Well, some of them not, but most of them will work on day one. But the question is, who supports it in 5 years? What is going to happen if I have a problem in 2 years? What's going on if I gonna change this valve or this fan coil or this lighting control or this fixture in 5 years? What is going to happen? Am I tied to this brand? Am I tied to this manufacturer? That's the real question. Okay, so in this case, KNX gives you multiple vendors and no single point of failure and long-term service. That's and future-proof technology. That's the peace of mind you need to transmit and the peace of mind you need to sell. Okay, your building must survive when people is leaving, companies changing. Technology is evolving and teams are changed as well, and employees leave and we have another ones, and maintenance teams also leave and we have another team. Your building needs to survive to this. So what I do is in commercial projects always I try to sell structures, okay, not boxes, not devices, not technology, but structures, solutions, future-proof solutions with maintenance. Always, this is something you need to keep in mind. Always sell maintenance. Always, it's very important. So you need to sell the customer. You need to make them know that you will be there in case they need you. Okay, that's the peace of mind you need to transmit in commercial projects. So, what about training? What about training? So this is the case 3 I would like to talk about. When you talk about training, when you talk about selling KNX training, because I have seen here we have KNX tutors, we have KNX training centers as well, and KNX training is part of the KNX ecosystem. Okay, we have training centers we also have KNX members with products, but we have KNX training centers. So if we are in the KNX business, we don't sell just we don't provide solutions for residential and commercial buildings, but we also offer training. So the main question, one of the, I would say, the most asked questions from manufacturers when I get a student to the training is, okay, Jose, I'm going to a training, KNX training in Miami. Sounds good. But I get free training from manufacturers. I mean, they train me for free. Why do I have to pay for your trainings? My answer is, listen, the manufacturers teach products. They show you how to use their products, how to use this sensor, how to program this with their software, and how to make the most with their products. Okay, so you are learning their products. We teach projects. We teach open standard systems that you can use with any manufacturer you want in the country you are. Full stop. So the approach is totally different. I don't need to sell products. I need to sell knowledge, shortcuts. You need to sell as a KNX tutor, as a leader of a KNX training center. You need to sell not even knowledge. You need to sell what took you years of learning. So that's what you sell, because people will not make the same mistakes as you. Okay? So the manufacturers want you loyal to their catalog. That's what happens. They don't want you to, okay, I'm teaching you this and then you can go to other manufacturers to buy. No, they want you to be loyal to the product. That's why they teach you their products. Okay? We want you profitable in the real world. We want you to make business with KNX. We are not teaching any specific brand. We teach KNX. I always say that in the trainings. Yes, we are using some, of course, manufacturers, some database, some products. That's true, of course. But we are not selling this specific device. We are not showing you how to program this specific device. I always say in the trainings, yeah, you can see here output 1, but maybe another manufacturer is binary 1, binary output or switching output. The name can be different. So you are not paying for knowledge. That's what I say to the customers. You are not paying for knowledge. You are paying to avoid expensive mistakes. That's the sentence you need to sell. You are paying to avoid expensive mistakes. And the price of the expensive mistakes, believe me, it might be more than the price of the training. Okay? So that's the peace of mind you need to transmit. That's the knowledge that you have, because you have it, because you have experience in the market. If you have opened that training center, you have the experience in the market. If you have opened that training center, it's because you know something about KNX. You have passed the basic course, the advanced course, and the tutor course. So you know something about KNX, and you know something about the business, because I'm sure you are in the business. So that's the peace of mind you transmit. That's the peace of mind you sell. Okay? Not knowledge. Don't go into that. The moment you go into knowledge, you are competing with hundreds of e-learning platforms that sell knowledge. Don't sell knowledge. Sell the ability to avoid expensive mistakes. Okay? So, how do you feel? I don't know if this is resonating with you or you feel identified. You can ask any questions in the chat. Okay, anytime. Thank you, all of you, for being here. All right, good. So, if you have any question, feel free to stop me anytime. So actually, the real problem is that most integrators are very busy, technical, and so many of them are so technical, especially in Europe. I have to say this, especially in Europe. I have discovered something from system integrators from Middle East. They are not that technical because they understood the need to change the approach to the customer. So many system integrators that I've been meeting with from Middle East or India or these countries, not Europe, they are not that technical, and they already understood how to talk KNX, how to sell KNX, how to transmit that they have inside, how to transmit that to the customer. Okay? So I can see here some questions. I'd like to hear your opinion on how how the system integrator must adjust its size to the tickets he is selling. A large system integrator can have many projects in the pipeline, adjusting prices. Well, yeah. Well, a small system integrator or solo man, we have a lot, by the way. We have a lot of one-man company around KNX, and they are doing great, let me tell you. Should pursue high-ticket projects that do not look at the price, but at the quality, service, and excellence. I totally agree with you, Jesus. I totally agree with you. So many people is trying even to compete with big system integration companies, 500 whatever, right, units per month. I mean, usually those companies that are doing like a lot of projects, like massive projects, they usually, I'm saying usually, okay, most of them, they don't pay attention to the small details. And I'm saying this because you have the opportunity to pay attention to the small details, okay, to pay attention to listen to the customer. You're not a big company, so an email to your company will not go into a boom, you know. Try to contact a big company and you will see, you know what I'm talking about. So when someone tries to contact you, if you are a one-man company, they will reach you right away. If you are a super big company, that email will go into the space, outer space, right? Sometimes it's very difficult to reach the right person. But yeah, I mean, Jesus, you're right. I always encourage system integrators, especially one-man company, to focus on big projects, and focus on high quality projects where they need to show his skills, her skills. They need to show how to solve problems, real problems, okay? Not just offer 500 apartments and 8 circuits on off with binary inputs for the keypads. No, I don't recommend you to do that. That's my advice. I recommend you to focus on high ticket project, and we have high ticket projects. Let me tell you this. We have that. Let me tell you. You just need to find the right people. And that's something I learned in the United States. You need to find the right people to work with. It's not about, no, but in my country, in blah, blah, whatever, you can tell me whatever you want. Well, you can tell me whatever you want, but believe me, I was not reaching the right people in Europe. That's my approach. Maybe the last years, yes, but you are not here to reach customers that they are not going to value your job, your work, right? You need to find customers, and believe me, there are customers out there that can value your work, that they really want that when they call you to pick up the phone and to be there. And yes, you have to be there. At least you need to answer the phone. I always say this. You need to reply the call. You need to answer the phone. Then you can go, you cannot go. That's fine. But at least always be there. Okay, that's what the customer says, and that's what the customer appreciates with one-man company. Yeah, that's true, Jesus. Okay, so any other question here for me? I can see. So what happens when your KNX is very expensive? KNX, yes, of course. KNX. I'm gonna answer this question. KNX is expensive. Well, I said at the beginning, if you are using KNX to switch on off a light and to move shades up and down, so, and your project price is, let's say a price $5,000, not even $3,000. You are not expensive. You are super high expensive. Why? Because they are comparing you with regular electrical installation, which is zero investment. Not zero, but the regular investment of the house. And now you are telling them that they have to pay $3,000 only for switching on off lights and to move shades up down. You are $3,000 expensive. So yes, KNX is super expensive. So that's one of the main problems we have actually and this is actually happen when manufacturers try to offer directly to end users, to customers. This is something that is happening. I'm not against this. I mean, I'm not saying nothing bad about this, but this is something that is happening. Okay, and the problem is that they try to offer a solution when maybe there is nothing to solve. So if there is nothing to solve, you don't need to provide a solution to a problem that does not exist. Okay, and the consequence of this is KNX is expensive. I already spent $3,000 in this only to switch on off lights, and then when another system integrator, when let's say when Sergio goes to another project, they say, Sergio, sorry, I will not go KNX. because KNX is very expensive. I will go to Loxone, for instance, right? And that's not fair, to be honest. That's not fair. But that's happening. Let me tell you, that's happening. All right, so we have another question. Hola, Jose. Do you have a simple framework or question you use to instantly translate KNX, DALI, BACnet, whatever feature into business value during a meeting with customers? I do have frameworks for this. I recommend you to register at the knxpronetwork.com. We are going to open it very soon, so I recommend you to register there. You will be one of the first ones to know all these frameworks that work in meetings. Very useful, by the way. Okay, Ruben, nice to hear you, Ruben. A pleasure to see you here. Hello, Jose. I'd like to know how you see the future of KNX. Wow, thank you for that question. Do you think people are increasingly trusting this system? And how do you think someone new to this sector could learn about it? Thanks. Okay, so how is the future of KNX? Wow. Well, we have here smarter people than me, like Jesus Arias, that maybe can reply to this question. But let me tell you my personal feeling about how it's gonna be the future of KNX. That's a question, right? Worldwide, okay? Worldwide. So this is what I see. I see the future with less devices, not so much wired. I'm not against wiring, okay? Actually, I'm in favor of wiring. I'm not a wireless guy, everything wireless. No, I'm not the guy, let me tell you this. But I see the future of KNX something more IoT, something more wireless, robust, secure. Okay, in this way, when we can achieve this kind of security, we will be good. So this is in terms of hardware. In terms of solutions, in terms of programming, in terms of how to manage this, I think ETS is the software that we have to program KNX devices. I think it must change. I'm not saying it's not good, because let me tell you, all of us that we are working with ETS, with KNX, we all know that ETS, the software, it's the most powerful tool in the world for home and building control. And I'm telling you this, it's the most powerful tool in the world for home and building control. Okay, it's manufacturer independent. You can add as many devices as you want. There's no limit. Depends on your laptop or your computer. It works perfect. It has many views. You can organize your project. It's amazing tool. Okay, but I see and I feel, according to my conversations to other system integrators, that it's not as it is now today. ETS 6.23 is not ready to the biggest step. It's not ready to the future. I think there is a change. It's not an evolution. I don't even see it's an evolution. I think we need to change that. I mean, no more. We don't. I think, to be honest, I think in 3 years we will not have any app. Yeah, any program, any application. We will have AI solving things and providing solutions. That's what I think. So I think if KNX wants to be successful worldwide, they need to change the way we manage the devices today, the way we program these devices, the way we arrange all these installations. Not an upgrade. I don't want ETS 6.5. I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for ETS 10. I'm even looking for another name, not ETS. Okay, so that's something KNX should take care of. Okay, Lucia Lopez, how about explain KNX without being so technical? Maybe the final client is not an expert. That's true. I mean, okay, so don't. Okay, Jose, I go to the meeting and I'm going to sell. They ask me for a project and I want to talk about KNX in this project, but I don't know the power supplies available in the market. I don't know the actuators in the market. Stop selling I prefer you not to know anything. I prefer you to have zero knowledge in KNX. Zero. Go to that meeting and you need to transmit that the right person, the right company to do this project is you. Is you. That's what you need to transmit in the meeting. Do not talk about 29 volts, twisted pair, IP. That's not the goal of the meeting. 90% of the goal of the meeting is to transmit that you are the right person. You need to transmit you feel safe. You need to transmit they need to go to you. And at the end, it will not be a problem if you are 20% expensive than the other one. Believe me, it's not about pricing. If someone is asking you, it's about pricing in terms of, okay, give me 10% discount, or the other guy is $500 more cheaper than you. Cheaper than you. Make me this discount and I go with you. Don't do that. Don't do that. I mean, you don't need that. That's not your customer. He doesn't. To be honest, I don't think he even cared about the $500. So they just want to make sure you are the right person to trust. So that's your job. That's the job you have to do. There is no other job. So in turbulent times, in turbulent times, people invest in gold. Same is happening with KNX. Wow, I love that. That's true. Just see the list of new members, new certified devices, certified installers, and available training centers. I love that approach, Jesus. I love that. I'm gonna use it for you to know. I'm gonna use it. I like that, and that's true. That's true. Many of you have seen many KNX installations from 15 years ago still running and working, and now the new customer, they want to change the faceplates, the keypads, the actuators, because the lights now are dimmable, are LED, they are not incandescent anymore. Okay, keep everything, keep all the wiring. That's the safest investment for the customer. That's true. I agree. So Jose, how do you keep control of the conversation with a client? So okay, that's another webinar. Okay, but how you keep control the conversation with a client? First of all, try to not to talk too much. I think that's very important. Try not to talk more than 20%. Let him talk. Listen to him. All of us, when we go to a meeting, we always want to give our best. We always want to transmit that we know what we are talking about. Okay? And now let me tell you something. Pay attention to this. Let me tell you something. You are going to a meeting. You have a meeting in 1 week. Okay? Now, keep this in mind. Imagine that you know everything about KNX. First of all, you know everything. I want you to visualize this. You know everything about KNX. You know all the questions they may ask. You know everything. The second thing is that you have $10 million in your bank account. Think about this. You have $10 million in your bank account. You don't need that project. You don't need that project to survive. You don't need that project to move forward. You don't need that. You don't really need that project. Okay? You go there because you want to show how you work. You want to solve a solution for other reasons, but it's not about money. Okay? So first of all, you know everything about KNX, everything. When I say everything, it's the top of the top. And second, you have $10 million in your bank account. Okay? Now you tell me, how would you go to that meeting? How would be your approach to that meeting? How do you present yourself in that meeting? Think again about this, right? You have $10 million in your bank account, you don't need a project, and you know everything about the KNX. How do you go to that meeting? How do you react? How do you talk? How much you talk? So when you go to a meeting, think like this, and you will master the meeting. You will master it. So think about this. Think as if it already happened. Think like this, like that project is yours already. You are just there just to transmit confidence, just to make it work, just to finalize the project, just to finalize the process. Think about this, like if it already happened. You will see a huge difference in the outcome. Huge difference. Huge. So before going to the meeting, put this in your mind and you will master the meeting. Believe me. Okay, so more questions. Do you have any other questions here for me? Thank you very much for all attendees today. I'm very happy to see many friends here. Thank you very much to all of you. I'm excited about this, really. So last but not least, if you want better clients, if you want better projects, less price pressure, and more respect in your business, in your area, you must stop selling KNX. Stop selling devices. Stop selling KNX. Stop selling products. And start selling certainty. Start selling safety. Start selling that you are the right person to work with. You need to work on this. You don't need to... No, but before going to the meeting, Jose, I want to pass my KNX basic course. Okay, you understood nothing. Okay, you understood nothing. You don't need to pass your KNX basic course to go to the training, so you don't have the knowledge to go to the training. No, that's not the way to do it. You need to meditate the night before and visualize the entire conversation and the entire meeting as it already happened. You need to visualize, you need to show it to yourself 100 times, and it will happen exactly like this. You don't need to go to a training before going to a meeting to sell KNX. Okay, so that's the point. So this is actually what I'm trying to transmit, what I'm trying to teach in the KNX Pro Network. All these kind of things. It's not everything about hard skills. Sometimes it's about soft skills. Sometimes and more than sometimes. Okay. Usually it's about soft skills, right? So if you are watching this webinar, if you are watching this, I recommend you to go to the knxpronetwork.com, www.theknxpronetwork.com. Register there. We are opening registrations very soon. It's free of charge. Okay, I'm not trying to sell you anything. So go there, take a look, and I'm very happy to discuss anything you'd like to there. Okay, so thank you very much for attending this webinar. I'm very happy that I'm running this webinar today, and I'm very happy to see very well-known faces here. Thank you so much for that. Okay, and if you have any other last question, please feel free to ask in the chat. And if you don't, you can reach me. You know how to reach me. Okay, you can contact me. I'm very active in LinkedIn, as you can see, so I love to read you all there. I love to read your comments and everything. So thank you very much for following me. By the way, I'm very excited about this. I'm very excited about all the messages I'm getting from you. Really, believe me, I'm very excited about this, and I can see this is working, right? I can see I'm helping someone in the same situation as me, or the same situation as I was before, and it's working. So that's my best satisfaction, okay? And my best motivation to keep doing this. So I will see you again in a couple of weeks, live webinar as well. And thank you very much for joining me, and see you next time. Thank you.